This is my 22-year-old car. It's a Lexus GS300. It's a beautiful car, but before we start modifying this car, we have to fix a few problems. But there's nothing to worry about because it came with the legendary 2JZ that is basically strong, reliable, ain't really got to worry about it. But for 270,000 miles, I'm surprised it lasted this long. This is my 2003 Lexus GS300. It is 22 years old and it got some parts that are worn out. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of impressed on how long it lasted. Some of these parts are original off this car, as far as the motor mounts and a few other things, maybe even the lower ball joints. We're gonna be placing things that are critical and are weak points on this car. So if you don't know nothing about Lexus, some reason they have problems with the valve cover gaskets. They like to leak. Luckily, I don't have problem with the cam seals, and they have another problem with the lower ball joint. All right, so we're in the car. Let's go ahead and start it up. Pause that. So let me see. So I don't know if you can hear, like, pieces on the car is vibrating. It's vibrating on the inside. Hopefully you can hear that on camera. It's vibrating. So what you need to do is put your car in drive, hold the brake, and hit the gas. And what it's going to do is going to put stress on the mounts, and it's going to show you. But if the mounts like jump up like that, that's how you know you got bad motor mounts. I'm going to show you that right now. I don't know if you've seen that on video, but you've seen the motor, it was going like that. It shouldn't really do that. It should be firm. So that's how we know that that's the problem. And I verified at the bottom that motor mount on the right side is for sure, it got a chunk missing out of it. So we're going to be replacing motor mounts, valve cover gaskets. We're going to be replacing the lower control arm knuckles, like the ball joints itself, because the ball joints are showing wear, a lot of wear, I'm not gonna lie. We're going to be changing the air filter, the cabin filter, and stuff like that, just to get this thing into top shape for the year. And basically kind of show you what are the main things that you need to do for the Lexus GS300s. All right, so the first task is to drain the oil, because if you don't know, you might have to remove the oil filter on the driver's side, because it is kind of hard to get to the motor mount. The passenger side is way easy because it's space between the headers, but on the driver's side, there's not a lot of space. All right, so word on the street is if you put a sandwich bag or Ziploc bag on top of the filter, then break it loose, it will stop it from making a mess on the motor mount, your subframe, and your AC line. So we're going to see if that's true. All right, it's working. It's catching all the oil. We're just going to let that sit for a little bit, and we should be good. All right, so it actually do work. So all this oil down here would have been on my subframe, the motor mount, and anything that's on that side of the engine. So yeah. All right, so I don't know if I'm tripping or I work on cars a lot, where people said this side was hard to get to. I just got a 3/4 ratchet with a stubby 17-inch, and I'm able to get in there and get this top bolt off. A lot of people are like, oh, you need to do all this ghetto stuff, it's not enough leverage. Like, I can get a whole ratchet down there. Y'all see that? I got it loose already, so now I just gotta go from the bottom and jack the engine up a little bit, and it should come out. But people was making it seem like it ain't enough space. I got it in the first try. And this is the passenger side. The passenger side is easy as can be. I can break it loose. So yeah, both sides are broke loose at this point. Now I just gotta go from the bottom and get it, but that's kind of crazy though. All right, so we're under the car, so it's a cutout right here. Mine's had the rubber grommet to protect it so dust won't get in it. As you can see how clean it is on the inside. So basically it's two bolts you gotta get to. Those are the motor mount bolts right there. But it's I'm not gonna lie, on hardness right now we're at a 0. Everything went pretty smooth. I did cut my hand a little bit, but for some reason my skin is sensitive to cars if that makes sense. But yeah, man, it's only 2 bolts. We're gonna knock these out. Well, we're gonna loosen them up first, then we're gonna jack up the motor just to be safe, because we do have to jack it up on the oil pan. It's not recommended. They say use a engine hoist, but I'm not gonna pull that out. A lot of people just jack up an oil pan like with a piece of wood or rubber, but we're gonna see, man. All right, so we're under the car, so it's a cutout right here. Mine's had the rubber grommet to protect it so dust won't get in it. As you can see how clean it is on the inside. So basically it's 2 bolts you gotta get to. Those are the motor mount bolts right there. But it's I'm not gonna lie, on hardness right now we're at a 0. Everything went pretty smooth. I did cut my hand a little bit, but for some reason my skin is sensitive to cars, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, it's only 2 bolts. We're gonna knock these out. We're gonna loosen them up first, then we're gonna jack up the motor just to be safe, because we do have to jack it up on the oil pan. It's not recommended. They say use a engine hoist, but I'm not gonna pull that out. A lot of people just jack up an oil pan like with a piece of wood or rubber, but we're gonna see, man. All right, so we got this rubber block that we're gonna use to pick up on the engine a little, just so we can get the 2 studs out of the subframe itself. People use wood. We're gonna hope that this is soft enough not to dent or mess up the oil pan, but we should be good. But like I said, this is not the recommended way. They recommend that you use a engine hoist and pull it from the top, but like I said, I'm not gonna put that out just to do something that people probably did for years with just a block. But yeah, man, but do not do it just bare metal to metal. Do something soft in between the oil pan and the jack itself. All right, we're gonna see how that looks. Okay, we almost out this stud. We got like a few more threads showing. Just gotta get that popped out and we should be good. All right, I could have messed up my whole engine, so I forgot you gotta drop the subframe bolts a little bit. So it's 2 bolts on each side, and that would lower the subframe. Don't take the bolts out, just loosen them up like a few threads so this can drop down a little bit. All right, so this is side number 2, whooped as well. Yeah, man. So next up is the lower ball joint. We got to go ahead and replace those. I want to keep track of that because these are known to go out when you drive in. They just snap on you and destroy your fender. So I want to put new ones in because this is brand new car to me, and I just want to be safe than sorry. You feel me? All right, I don't know if y'all can see that, but the ball joint got some type of grime on it. I don't know where that's from. Look like caked up oil, but we're just gonna go ahead and, like I said, just replace them just to be safe than sorry, you know. So fresh oil, fresh Toyota oil filter. My hands is filthy dirty, but it is what it is. And we're gonna be switching the rear brakes because they are squeaking. They squeaking real bad. I thought it was the fronts, but it was the backs. But yeah, man, OEM Toyota filter. Part number is right there, 90915-YZZD1 Toyota. We're gonna pre-fill the oil filter just a little. I'm not gonna probably fill it to the top because, you know, that's gonna make a mess. That's about good. Then it's already kind of lube on it, but I'm just gonna get a little bit and just rub it on here on this oil ring so we know that it's sealed up properly. But like I said, it was already some type of, what's it called, on there. Yeah. Go down. There it goes. Spin, 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 spin. So you just want to get this hand tight, nothing more, nothing less, you know. So yeah, that's good to go. And let's go ahead and fill this bad boy up. All right, so we're right on the money. You want your oil to be right at the second dot. We're a little over, but you know, you can't go too wrong with extra oil. So we're gonna fire it up and see what it do. Looking at